Sup Players, and welcome back to another video. Now we take a look at the round 2 from Danish nationals. And yeah, round 1 it was interesting, I will say that. So yeah, back with another reaction on the Danish nationals. So it looks like that player right here won the die roll. What is going on right here? Oh, it's a left-handed opponent or player. The guy on the left. But we can see here we have Memento Anchorage that is getting ashed. I will say I don't know if Anchorage is the right target to hand trap because of Memento Bone Party right here that you would kinda destroy um hmm I don't know why he didn't destroy what's it called Anchorage, but sure enough. When you have other targets. Alrighty. So I will say Tatsunuko is basically, in my opinion, so the Tatsu monster is the better target for hand traps because it basically gives you more combo pieces to work with. But yeah, so let's see. I cannot remember the entire Memento combo. I just know that all of a sudden the end on a pretty big dude that basically just is what 3 negates and what's it called can pop itself twice. Not twice. It can pop 2 cards on the field. That's the effect. But I cannot remember if it's the fusion monster or the main deck monster. And that is the Nibiru, the primal being. We also saw that card earlier in this national on the stream parts. So yeah, that's actually one of the better cards, I will say, to hit Memento. I just feel like it's a really good card to use against Memento. And yeah, I think that the player left here pointed out that he have already used the field spells effect. So yeah. And we start out here with a Fiendsmith engraver to search a tract, I believe. You wouldn't search the other spell card that they have. I also believe that you can search either a spell or a trap, but most of the time you just search tract. Because why not? That's the best combo piece ever. I feel like, personally, I feel like that this is basically kinda a free win in some situations. And now Lurie will be summoned to the field. What I feel like is the most crazy part about this is that Lurie isn't once per turn. So if you play multiple copies of him, well, only a small percentage of deck actually does that. I've one deck that plays free, but yeah. No, it's not fabled, but yeah, still. I just feel like that this is a free win, depending on if the opponent of player left, if player right also have, cards like the bureau. But then again, he can kind of just go into Caesar and negate Nibiru. So yeah, it also depends on what the set card is. I don't know if he did set the card, but yeah, if he did set the card with the Memento field spell, and here we have it. Okay, many times, guys, it's just because that I'm right-handed. I get confused so many times Because then I feel like, okay, now he summons Caesar from his main deck. Ayo. 500 IQ. Going into sequence. And there's no way that he doesn't play Agnum Day here, is it? Yeah, he plays Agnum Day. One of the best cards ever. And then not engraved. Disarray sends the field spell and attacks for 1828, and then he equips for 46. So yeah, that's game number 1. Really quick. I will say that's actually a quick game. So yeah. Moving on to game 2. After they have sided out and stuff like that. I will say this game right here was definitely in the bag for player left here. Because first of all, he knew that, I will say the only misplay I will say he probably had used or had done here was not to hand trap the Tatsunoko. But I will say, out of all the Memento cards, Anguish and the Tatsunoko are definitely the best cards to hand trap. So either way, it depends a lot on the situation. Plus, he did win in the end, so it didn't affect the outcome of the game. So yeah. Plus, he did have Nibiru that saved him. But I'm curious, actually, because I did not see any other engine, so... But he's definitely playing another engine in his deck, because you can't play 40 cards of just Fiendsmith and hand traps. Well, you can, but then it's just not the most optimal build. Plus, guys, you already know what the decks are, because it is in the title and thumbnail, so yeah. But I would say it's actually pretty insane how Fiendsmith, and I know a guy, one of my friends, he's actually pissed on the Fiendsmith engine, because he feels like he thinks it's stupid that stuff like this can happen. But I will say, my guy, you also play other types of decks. Like, I know the Fiendsmith, and in general, it is a really annoying engine to go against, but then again, well, then play the... I just feel like that. Then you need to kind of play the engine yourself. But yeah. Well, he's going quick with the shuffle. He's going quick with this. He's also the only person in the entire world that I've seen that, pilot shuffles like that. But yeah. But yeah, back to the other thing that I talked about. Well, I know the Fiendsmith engine is annoying to go against, but then again, it is a really good engine and it fits in many decks. So if you have a deck that can play them, then play them. But yeah, I'm not gonna acknowledge that. I just feel like I do have the Fiendsmith engine, but yeah, and I love to play it, but I'm not only relying on that. Like, first of all, this guy did rely a little bit of it, but now the Memento player starts off with the Memento Maze. So yeah. I wonder if the playlist have the Nibiru again. Like, I don't know if I don't feel like that the playlist is using outer sleeves, or else it's just me or else I'm just a little bit blind to see it. It looks like he is using outer sleeves because of the thickness of the cards, just how it looks. Because no person have the thoughts to just not play with the outer sleeves. Yeah, he definitely have outer sleeves on it. I saw some people that actually did play with Konami sleeves without outer sleeves, and that's crazy. Lunatics. I'm just saying that. And basically the same thing happened once again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Chaining Memento. Bone party here. Did our guy learn a little bit from game 1? Well, maybe. So he pops that to search, which I don't know. Does it negate Nibiru because now there's no monsters to tribute off, except for if he summons any monsters. So yeah, then there will. But Bone Party, doesn't it search? I feel like that it's a searcher. I don't feel like that it summons. It do summon. Okay, so Nibiru gets summoned to the field. But I feel like that. And I don't know what the hold up are here right now. Some reading is happening, and Memento combined creation hits the graveyard. So yeah, I don't know if they kinda argued about that. What's it called? That since the monster were in the field when the bureau were activated, I don't know if they talked about that. Then that attack would also be added, but I don't know. I don't feel like it should be added because it's not. It weren't on the field when the bureau resolved. So yeah. All right. So Anguish revives, gets revived back to the field, and another search is on the way, I believe, or summon, depending on which effect that were activated. If it's Anguish's effect, then it's something. Because that means that it summons, right? What is that? Oh, it's Goblin. It's the Goblin card. Well, fun. And again, guys. Well, the player on the left. First of all, his ecstatic in it is in his graveyard zone. Of course, when you're left-handed, you see the playmat like reverse or something. But then again, please just. I also feel like that. Coming to think about it, I feel like that this is not allowed actually, because I've attended a couple of nationals and also regionals, and every time I know last year of Nats, I know that the head or not the head judge, the tournament organizer told us that it's allowed to have your deck, main deck, and your extra deck in the top zones or in the bottom zones. So I feel like that this isn't actually allowed, you know. I feel like that this is not allowed to, you know, have it like that, but don't hang me up on it. It is just what it is just about the information that I've been or yeah, the information that I've been given a year ago, so yeah. Who in the blue places summons out Donor of the for hire? But sure. I mean, if you have space for it, then go for it. But yeah. Oh, he also summoned out the combined creation. That's also a card. What is happening on the field right now? Oh, it was his hand. I just thought, okay, I'm going to set 4 cards and pass. So now we have what an negate on the field. That is what 5 negates or something like that. Especially if you also have the what's it called cranium burst trap. Engraver hits the graveyard once again. I don't feel like that Engraver is the biggest problem. Like, the best thing to do about Fiendsmith is basically, if you have some type of removal, graveyard removal, well, I would say wait until Engraver has not resolved, but when your opponent activates Engraver, it's a cost to shuffle back the target. So obviously, if the shuffle back Lurry, well, then either throw a bush deal at them, or in some situations, one of my key cards is TD Crow to just remove Engraver from the face of the planet. To be honest. Okay, so talents to what? Take control? What is happening? So the chained mace to talents? And what exactly? So mace is going to summon or what? Okay. Wait, hold on. I thought that the Memento mace was going to do something against the talents, but now he just reversed that card. What is that? Oh, that's tracked. Okay, nice. Getting ashed. I will say it's kinda the best thing to do, but again, it depends a lot on what your opponent have in their hand. If they have like Lurry, it's still full Fiendsmith combo. So I will say the best thing to do about it, of course, I know that right now they have a big guy on the field. And that is a life twin Kisikil, which will not it will basically not activate because he doesn't control he controls another monster, so but this is basically wait, hold on. Isn't the new Link monster, isn't that a Link 1? Or is that a Link 2? I can't remember. But I know one thing, and that is it's a Light Fiend, and now Bone Party is on the field. Getting ready to give a bone to something. So he throws down another creation, it looks like. It kind of looks like a combined creation, so yeah. To summon out something, which I right now doesn't know anything about. What is that? Oh, it's Arcohorn. What's it? Not Arcohorn. It's the other card. So he's going to use the effect to do something. So he pops one to pops two to fusion summon. Yeah, he fusion summons, and I believe that yeah that card pops can pop two cards on the field. So yeah. Hmm, that's interesting actually. Because come to think about it, well, I know that I don't know how exactly that the combined creation works, but isn't he like a negate or something? So maybe he can negate something. I don't know, or maybe he just waits until the right moment, or something like that. But yeah, basically he the Memento player definitely does more right now than the Fiendsmith Life Twin player. Apparently, that actually, I will say it is definitely a deck. Fiendsmith Life Twin, because now of the support that Life Twins have got, the new Evil Twin Link monster, it's a Light Fiend, so basically it works really well with the Fiendsmith engine. Like many decks does that already, but yeah. And that looks like it's yeah, that the win goes to the Memento player here. That's actually awesome to see that same thing wouldn't just happen just like in round 1 where basically it were a strong 2-0. So yeah. Also again guys, depends on the deck. Well, in round 1 it were Malice versus Lightsworn, so yeah. That kind of gives up the vibe already, but yeah. I would say it's awesome to think about that. Memento still is a really strong meta contender. I will say that. And it's also awesome to see that it's not the same boring meta decks that enters stuff like this. Well, I will say in Denmark, we do have a lot of really rogue decks. Like, as an example, I know that some people might not feel like, okay, this is weird to see, but I have seen people that basically comes up to national, like last year's nationals, guys. There was somebody that played basically some weird stun deck. Basically, he played Time Wizard, and that is just something like that gives us the right vibe. What the hell is going on? This dude is playing Time Wizard in 2025 for no reason. Like, there wasn't even a reason behind it. It was just a pile of, and I would say I love rogue decks and I love rogue cards, but it were basically a pile of shitty cards that didn't do anything. I know I have a Blackwing deck, but come on, guys. If you play a 60 card pile where your best card basically is Time Wizard, then we might have some issues to work with. But let's get back to round 2, game number 3, where I believe that the Fiendsmith player, the Fiendsmith Lightswing player, might be starting off this game. But yeah, let's see what this duel ends with. So we start out here by summoning out Kisical Frost, I believe. Which I cannot remember if it special summons a Lilla monster from your deck. Or Hando deck. It's just to link summon into the new one. It is a link one. I knew it. It's actually funny to think about that player left here has changed his placement of the decks 3 times now. Like in game 1, it both of them were in the top. In game 2, his deck were where it's supposed to be. Well, normally not, but reversed from where he's basically doing it. And now game 3, he basically do it, but I believe it's because that he is left-handed and he is also left-handed. Funny that they put the left-handed guy on the left side, but yeah. It depends a lot on how you look at things and stuff like that. But yeah. Full Fiendsmith combo going to Lilla, Evil Twin Lilla. That summons back Frost. That goes into Kill here. And yeah, he cannot destroy anything, so he link summons into that. Uses the effect to summon. And then gets to draw 1 card from the Kill effect. So yeah. And now we are getting Droll. All of a sudden, I feel like that Droll doesn't do anything about the deck. Against this deck, sorry guys. Because it doesn't really search that much. Like I know, and now we have a Bow on the field. A Bow a Q. I feel like that not many decks actually play a Bow, but yeah. What is going on? Oh, it banishes itself to summon back Lacrima. But yeah, I feel like that Droll doesn't do anything against this deck, particularly because of the Fiendsmith engine, first of all. The Fiendsmith engine can play on the Droll with ease. Well, in the end, if your opponent draws you after you have activated Tract, I know for a fact, okay, if you activate Engraver and you get Droll, well, then that's another story, depending on your starting hand. But yeah, if they draw you after you have access to Lurry, well, then it's GG. Then you will just have access to your Fiendsmith engine without any problems basically. But now I feel like that I feel like that right now they're just talking about, well, different type of things, different effects and how they will occur in terms of when they will get summoned. Because I know right now he's locked into Fiends. Well, he doesn't have any issues with that because of Fiendsmith, but yeah. And you also have Caesar on the field, which definitely helps out against Nibiru for a change, but yeah. He now turns out Anguish, and Anguish will now activate, I believe. And depending on the starting hand and depending on what cards he have access to, he could use Lacrima's effect here to dump the trap if he plays that. Of course. But then again, it depends a lot on the starting hand and what cards he actually have access to. Because I will say, if he have access to the trap, well, then it would be the smart way to just get it into the graveyard by the start. That is just my opinion. So you do have access to the send effect with disarray. Of course, it depends a lot on the targets for disarray, but yeah. But again, it can also be that the Fiendsmith player is just waiting, or the Light Twin Fiendsmith player is just waiting on a specific moment. Because Anguish, I believe that Anguish summons out monsters, doesn't it? Doesn't it summon? Maybe. Maybe it does, maybe it does not. Do not. I don't know. But yeah, I believe that Anguish just searches and now Tatsunoko's effect activates to summon itself. And here, probably, it depends a lot on the different things. I know that you don't want to destroy the Memento cards because of their effects that will trigger. Obviously, because of the trigger effects that the cards have. But yeah, I know that for some reason, I don't, I don't know, but depending on the scenario, maybe he should have used the effect here, and that is a droplet I see. That could potentially be a game changer, but I don't know. I know the left player here, or the player on the left, still have access to Lacrima. So yeah, and now he summons back the little Gaddock, the Gaddock monster. He does have access to, and I also believe that is that's what's happening here. And now Requiem will summon, if it gets interrupted, of course. And then Lacrima will dump the trap, most likely. I feel like whenever you do this play specifically, you play the trap, and yeah, that there it is, the Paradise Trap. But again, I feel like that whenever you make this move, you are playing the trap. You don't. I know that some people have been playing against the usually just dump another engraver if it's that. But then again, in my opinion, it's the best way to just get rid of a very annoying card. Plus, they cannot do that much against it because it's on summon that you basically remove. So they don't even get to activate effects of certain cards. So yeah. And now we have that card on the field which can search or summon, and that card gets ashed. I don't know what the scenario would have looked like if you have ashed the Tatsunoko. or the anguish for that reason. So he summons out the golem, and then he banishes Paradise to dump Disarray. And then Disarray will activate, shuffling back Light Fiend to send the goblin away. Which I will say that's actually, I cannot remember what the goblin does. Isn't that the one that searches the fusion spell? Or what? Hmm. This might be a tough one for the Memento player actually, because, well, to be honest, like a power is negated plus Caesar is negated, so it depends a lot on the scenario. And yeah, what is happening here? Why did the Oh, he destroyed the goblin, the Memento goblin, and Caesar. I thought he attacked, and then all of a sudden the Memento goblin is just gone. But yeah, it looks like that this might be something. All right, so engraver into that, and then are we basically just going for? Oh, it's a Chaos Angel. Damn, that's something. Okay, because he used light monsters. Yeah, that's a sad one. Because he summoned Chaos Angel by using light monsters, it's unaffected by activated effects. So yeah, this does look like a game because yeah, basically he can just move on. Yeah, he can summon that and summon into. Yeah, he can summon a sequence. So yeah, this is basically game. So yeah, there's not that much because this array and then they go into Active Day. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and that's game. Which I will say that's actually a crazy back. What's it called? Comeback to have. Like you win, you win game one, you lose game two, and then you just go all the way back and back to back game three. You win that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you at round three. Peace.